Develop your self-confidence. How will you develop self-confidence in the use of language? By practicing the language more and more. You might feel that 1 hour English class is enough, but it isn't. English now, if you want to overcome your fear, is a 24-hour project for you, because all your studies are in English. There are many people who do not know even a single sentence of English. Can they learn? They are very scared. Yes, they can learn. How did we learn any language? Please understand. A child learns a language because the child is unself-conscious about mistakes. The adult is self-conscious about mistakes. You feel scared to make a mistake. You feel if I make a mistake, it will be a terrible crime. I cannot afford to make mistake. From day one, I should start speaking excellently. That is never possible. Unless we make mistakes, but we continue to practice in spite of making mistakes, we can never learn. Even today when I speak Telugu, there are many people who laugh at me. My own teacher will tell me, please don't spoil this language. My mother tongue is not Telugu. But I speak fluent Telugu, I can scold my students in good Telugu, I can do all those. I can read and write Telugu, I can do everything. But it's not my mother tongue. I have a different mother tongue. And therefore, you must remember that I also must have struggled to learn this language. I still make mistakes after using it for so many years. 30 years I worked in the Osmania University where I spoke in Telugu as much as I spoke English. So after 30 years, I am still making mistakes. So you want to overcome your mistakes in 1 day, 1 month? Madam, I have an exam tomorrow. Can you teach me English? Not possible. English is not magic. English is not miracle. English is hard work. So the only way you will overcome fear is if you practice regularly. Practice does not mean only practicing to speak. Practice means LSRW. Please understand. Keep your time listening. From 10 to 4, I am in college, so I am listening to English. Your teachers speak to you in English. Your lecturers teach you in English. So you are listening to English. Then many people say we have no exposure to English. Don't worry, you have your smartphone. You are using your smartphone for such useless things. You are listening to Telugu songs, Hindi songs. Stop listening and listen to some English. In the same time when you are doing that, spend the first few months, 6 months, 8 months, if your English is very poor, to listen. Little time every day for listening. Little time every day for speaking and evaluating your speech. Not just speaking. Speaking and finished. Now evaluate, how did I speak? How many mistakes did I make? When did I feel uncomfortable? You suddenly find word is there in the mind, it's not coming. No, you keep scratching your head, oh word, oh word. Word is there in my mind, but I can't get that word. What happened? You need more practice. So you say, oh, here I had struggled for the word, I couldn't get a good word. You know, you could have said, instead of saying we are fine, you could have said we are happy, we are comfortable, we are well settled, we are early. Somebody who came just now can say we are late, I am late. So many words instead of fine. Are they not all describing you? How are you? My question was, how are you today? All of you answered conventional, very good. I am very happy with your answer. We are fine, thank you. Excellent answer. But imagine how many different ways you can answer. You can say, I am very unhappy today, I am very depressed today. All negatives. So your friend will help you to become very happy. That's what friends are about. You know, friends will help us to overcome whatever negatives we have. Therefore, if you have friends, very good. If you don't have friend, you are your best friend. Be two people like they play solitaire, you know. One person playing with the other. They play chess. Once you move the white coin, once you move the black coin. Can't you be your own friend? Can't you practice with yourself? You can. So to get rid of your fear, the answer is LSRW every day. Read a little every day. If you have a book like this, 200 pages, any book, you know, you go to Abbott's on a Sunday, you will find books for, second-hand books for no expense at all. Choose a book which is very good English. I gave you some authors just now. These books, if you choose 1 rupee, 2 rupee, which you just, throw away, you buy 5 rupees, 10 rupees, you read it. 240 pages book, 240 days of reading is done. Read it. Constantly you read the same thing. See how the structures are arranged. See how the vocabulary is used. See, for the same word in yesterday's stories, same word, 2-3 different synonyms were used. Did you all notice all these things? Pronunciation, how I used the words when there were words which had more than one syllable. We always stress English words. This is different from Indian languages. That is why we have problem. Because Indian languages have an even intonation. English has a rhythmic intonation. This change we have to find out. This change we have to practice. So when you read aloud. When you listen, speak aloud. When you listen, read, speak, write down. Read it again, what you have written. Evaluate all these things. Spend time like this, at least for a few months, regularly, without missing a single day. Then the second phase comes. This is phase number 1. How to overcome fear? Build up a nice base. People who are going to do long jump, high jump and all, they have to begin with a small jump. So what is our small jump? That we see how we are progressing by looking at the items of English within the LSRW. By listening, listen not to only meaning but to language. Meaning is one, language is one. Yesterday I am telling you this. So concentrate when you are listening. Every word is important. An article is important because remember I told you the God. Not there. In the story I never read the God. How did you all get the God? Because we've been making that mistake for 20 years or whatever your age is, 17, 18 years. So you're saying the God, the God, the God, the God comes. We have to remember that unless we correct our mistakes, we can never become confident. Confidence comes when we find our mistakes and correct them. To this, we have to know what mistake we are making. This comes to you when you listen and read, not only when you learn grammar. Grammar learning is very good. Learning vocabulary is very good. Test of pronunciation is very good. I think you had all these tests online. But please remember that the final test of your confidence is practice. How will you practice? Get yourself a small group if you can and speak in front of them loudly every day. First day they might laugh at you by saying you can't speak at all. Next day they might laugh at you some more by saying you haven't improved at all. Remember that their laughter should be your encouragement, not their applause, not their clapping. How does confidence become more? When people are telling you that this is where you made a mistake, this is where you have to improve, so you improve and become better. Practice and practice and practice, you become better and better. Why do you think experience is given so much weightage? For any promotion in a job, you say experience 5 years, experience 10 years. You open the newspaper, you find all jobs are saying 2 years experience, 4 years experience. Why do they want? Because experience improves you, not only your knowledge, not only your abilities. So phase 1 of getting over your fear is to increase your knowledge of English. Phase 2 of overcoming fear is to practice whatever you have learned. If you do not have anybody to practice with, at least you have a mirror. Do you have a mirror? Now till now you have all been looking at your mirror by saying, oh, how do I look? How's my nose? How are my eyes? How do others view me? Don't do that. Now speak in front of your mirror. If you have a recorder, if you have a phone, you can record. Record yourself. Listen to yourself as though somebody else is listening. Give yourself marks. To improve your own confidence, you have to increase your faith in yourself. Yesterday I was telling you many stories. One story of Swami Vivekananda. Somebody asked him, Swamiji, who is an atheist? Yesterday I told you, atheist is a religious definition. You know, people who don't believe in God, they are called atheist. But Swamiji was a very scientific person. He never wanted to give like that. Everything he made rational. So looking at his religious garb, looking at his religious talk about Vedas and Vedanta, people thought he will give a religious definition. Swamiji gave the definition by saying, I call him an atheist who does not believe in himself. I call him an atheist who does not believe in himself. So what are we doing? A person who doesn't have faith in himself or herself is an enemy of the own person. You know, you are your own enemy if you don't have faith. Faith in God is the last step. First you have faith in yourself. Then you have faith in others. Then you have faith in God. Today, first we don't have faith in ourselves. What we do? We get a bad result, we go and commit suicide. Now, what have you seen of life that you are taking it away? You have another 80, 100 years of life left. Longevity is increasing. So, why are you ending it now? That is because you lost faith in yourself. Only a person who has no confidence goes in for such a thing. Depression, sorrow, suffering, all these are signs of a weak mind. An educated mind should be a strong mind. How do you become? Fearless. You know, the question is how to overcome fear. How will you become fearless unless you make your mind strong? We fear small things. Children fear the dark. When you grow up, you stop fearing the dark, isn't it? There are many grown-ups who are scared to go into a dark room. What happened? They never grew up. Their body has grown up, their mind has not. So we have to take control over the mind. The mind is like a monkey.